Hello everyone. In this video, I am going to show you 15 things you must do after installing Proxmox server. My name is James, and this channel is all about showing you how to become a highly paid cybersecurity, ethical hacking, or cloud pro fast. In the previous video, we explained how to install Proxmox. In this video, we'll focus on things that are recommended to be done after installation, so let's get started. Like with any server, it's necessary to install all necessary updates before putting the server into operation. Proxmox, by default, receives updates from the paid enterprise repository, which are only available to customers with a paid subscription. To get the latest updates without a subscription, you need to disable the paid repository and enable the non-subscription repository. If this isn't done, apt will report an error when updating package sources. So, the first step is to log in to your Proxmox server using shell from the web browser or an SSH client like PuTTY. In this scenario, we'll use PuTTY. After logging into the Proxmox server, we proceed with the settings. There are two locations where settings need editing before we update the system. You can use either the VI editor or Nano for that. In the first configuration file, we'll comment out the current repository link. In the second configuration file, we'll add two new repository links. Now we can safely update the Proxmox server. As you can see, the errors I mentioned earlier are no longer being reported in the system. The second most important thing to do is to set the correct time. When it comes to logs and synchronization, nearly all servers must have the correct time zone set. To configure the time on a Proxmox server, you need to go to the desired server, in this case named Proxmox. Then select the Time menu and set the desired time zone. Configuring the time on the servers plays a very important role in the server's operation itself, and must be one of the first things you set up before putting the server into operation. The third thing to do, after setting the time on the server, is to add new storage drives that you will use to store future virtual machines. Choose the desired server, then select the directory option, and within it, choose the desired disk, file system type, and future name. As you can see, we have successfully added a new drive named Storage 1, which is ready for use. After configuring the repository's updates list, setting the time on the server, and adding new storage space for future virtual machines, the next step is to prepare automatic backup to create an ideal environment. As you can see, in this case, backup is available at the data center level. The next step is to choose the node, which is only one server called Proxmox. We will select Storage 1, which we configured earlier as the default place for backups, and finally, we will set the scheduled time for backups along with all virtual machines. As important as configuring future updates, time synchronization, defining space for virtual machines, and of course backup, there is one thing that is not mentioned so often. When you have or will have a large number of virtual machines, and at some point, it becomes necessary to restart the main Proxmox server where all the machines are located, responsiveness and boot time of the main Proxmox server become crucial. As you can see, the automatic delay is set to 5 seconds. In a production environment, 5 seconds mean quite a long time. For this reason, we will remove the automatic delay. Choose the server, then start it, select shell, and using the Nano or VI editor, open the following file. Instead of the number 5, change the value to 0 and save the configuration file. Update the settings and restart the server. As you can see, the server is now instantly available. The next thing to do is check all the logs to ensure that Proxmox is functioning properly. Logs play an important role in future administration, so it's crucial to know where they are located. All logs can be found at the following location. As you can see, the access log records activities. Besides checking the logs, it's necessary to properly configure the network devices for more secure access and better traffic control within the Proxmox server. Within the network settings, We can change the existing static address for accessing the Proxmox server through a browser, configure a new network card, or add a new network interface for future use. Besides network configuration, it's important to carefully review firewall options, define which types of logs the firewall should save and monitor, and determine the kinds of notifications that would be necessary in your environment. The next step is to configure custom SSL certificates. For those not confident in the default SSL generated by Proxmox, this option is crucial to ensure the traffic is fully protected. Additionally, it's beneficial to configure default DNS servers from the start so that Proxmox and virtual machines can seamlessly resolve hostnames in future communications. It is essential to set up two-factor authentication when using a Proxmox public environment for better security. There are several two-factor authentication methods available within Proxmox, and you should choose the one that suits you best. If you are working in a production environment, high availability is crucial to ensure minimal downtime. Additionally, an alerting system is indispensable for early notification in case of server issues. Groups are also important when a larger number of people are responsible for maintaining the servers. In this case, organizing the users is necessary, so it's recommended to define groups for each type of work and maintenance. Lastly, a good practice is to create a new user account and disable the default account. Check out the video on the right for more content to help you develop your IT